I'm starting onions 4 different ways this year. I'm also the type of person that needs to try it for myself to see if it will work or not, because everybody's different. So I just had an experience, and of course the camera wasn't on. And when I went to lift it up, I thought to myself, Crystal, you should move, because guess which way they're gonna run if there's something in there. Ran out of there, I screamed. The celery stalks, they're so cute. I'm a weirdo who calls plants cute. Hey, what's up? Welcome. My name is Crystal, and today I'm working outside. It's a gorgeous day. It's April 13th, 2022, and I'm going to start trying to figure out how I'm going to be doing the fencing around our garden. We recently expanded our garden going this way with the tomato bed, and then rock garden we are also expanding where we have our greenhouse. I think I'm just going to use some of our bamboo garden stakes as markers before I actually go through the effort of pounding in the T-posts and U-posts that we have. That can get kind of tedious. We live in Connecticut and we have very rocky terrain. We normally have the fencing on hooks over here, so I can easily open up this portion to be able to get in larger things in and out of the garden without having to go directly through the gate. And then we go all the way around with deer fencing. The other thing is that we have this greenhouse over there. I kind of want to make it easier to access it without having to walk all the way around the garden to get in and out of the garden and then go over to the greenhouse. Do a gate over by this Greenstalk over here. And then Steve's idea was to use cattle panels, do arches going towards the greenhouse. I don't really want to spend too much money on the fencing. We did pick up a roll of the really good deer fencing from Lowe's. We slowly stock up on things like that one at a time so that it's not such a big expense all at once. And then last week I had him also grab 5 of the 7-foot T-posts. That combined with the... Sorry, Jacob is having a Mario Brothers war at the table with his toys. That combined with the U-posts that we already have. I'm not a huge fan of the U-posts, but it's what we have. Sometimes when you use a T-post driver on a U-post, it will dent in the top like that one is over there. By using the rock breaker bar and pre-digging the hole a little bit, it goes in fairly easy and it doesn't dent the top of the U-post. These are wooden garden stakes. These ones are they're heavier duty than the ones that I would get like at Home Depot or whatever. These I think were custom made by somebody local. I don't know. I feel like I've seen them listed on Craigslist multiple times, but these we got for free from the house where we were able to get the wood for the garden bed from, among many other things we got for free from there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the pointed side and point it up to the sky and then fasten it to the T-post here using zip ties. That will get the deer fencing way high and we won't have to worry about those kind of predators getting in the garden. I was planning on spray painting this whole thing black, but I'm not doing that today. I'll be back when it's all done. All right, they all went in pretty easy except for this one on the end here. I cannot get it further than that, and I've tried moving it around, but if I move it around too much, then the fence line won't be completely straight and that will drive me bananas. I'm gonna have to wait for Steve on this one to figure out what to do. I think the next thing I'm gonna do is maybe start to move my Greenstalk today before it gets completely overridden with spiders on the outside of it. Oh, that's heavy. There we go. Holy monkeys. So I'm thinking of moving the Greenstalk over here. It's not super level. I'm thinking about splurging and getting one of those things that Greenstalk sells that allows you to spin the Greenstalk. They were like $30 or $40, I think, the last time I looked them up. I'll have to look them up again. But I think I'm gonna look into that before I assemble it. It's called the Ultimate Spinner base for the Greenstalk. And I did buy it. I went on my laptop and I had an email from them offering free shipping on anything, so I bought that and it was $40. I don't think I'll regret it. I think it will be good, because what happens with these Greenstalks is that you can sow the whole thing, but if the entire thing doesn't get a little bit of sunlight every day, not everything does well. Alright, I just moved my onions and leeks and celery out to the greenhouse here. I just felt like they needed to do another step before I move them to the garden. The celery is looking so good. I've never grown celery before. I can see like the celery stalks, they're so cute. I'm a weirdo who calls plants cute. So I just had an experience, and of course the camera wasn't on. If you see this little bundle here, I don't know, I figured, hey, I have gloves on. I'll just move it. And I already thought to myself, God, that looks like a mouse's nest. But I had birds continuously making birds' nests in the Greenstalk last year, so I just assumed it was a bird's nest. Well, I think you can tell where this is going. I tapped on it and went to like move it, and when I went to lift it up, I thought to myself, Crystal, you should move, because guess which way they're gonna run if there's something in there. And with that, as soon as I touched it, a mother mouse with 3 mice attached to her ran out of there. I screamed. They scattered. The mother mouse is in there somewhere with one of the babies. One baby went that way into one of the rocks, and then another one ran back and went under the black landscape fabric there. I am not thrilled with that outcome at all. Once I started digging at it, how deep it goes, that the entire container I feel like is a habitat, and it needs to be completely cleaned out. I think with that I'm done for the day. It's the next day. Today I've already been out here. I planted all of my onion sets. The onions that I grew last year, all of the little sets that I had left over from that, I put in the ground today. I put in some of the garden beds. I lined what's going to be the tomato beds, the hot pepper beds. I put some in with the brassicas and the peas, which will also in turn have tomatoes in it eventually. I also had a little corner in with the garlic that I sowed the onion sets that I had purchased from Home Depot. I've never purchased onion sets before, so I don't know what's gonna happen with that. I have heard from many people many times that onion sets are not the greatest for getting onions because they're biennial and that they just tend to flower and they don't really bulb out. We will see. I'm also the type of person that needs to try it for myself to see if it will work or not, because everybody's different. And some people have started with onion sets and they get gorgeous onions. And then some people might start onions from seeds and get gorgeous onions, or they can be like me and just get sets for the following year or nothing at all. So I'm starting onions 4 different ways this year. The onion sets that I grew from seed last year. I have the onions in the ground still from seed that I grew last year. I have onions that I've started from seed that I have now since moved to the greenhouse. And then I also went out and purchased onion sets from Home Depot. I'm gonna try in all different variety of ways, so we will see how it goes. And then I'm also starting green beans. All right, so here's the walkway going to the greenhouse, and I'm thinking I'm going to be putting some green beans over here that I'll do on a cattle panel trellis arching over the walkway here. I'm going to put some of this garden soil in over here, right on the edge, and that'll give me enough space just to start some of the seeds. The seeds I'm starting are green beans that I saved from last year's pole green beans. I think they're polling. These were the same green beans I gave away in our seed giveaway earlier this year. We'll try that. The first thing I'm gonna do is empty this bag over here. Now the stuff underneath it is from the chicken coop when I cleaned it out. All right. I know I'm doing this before I put the trellis in, but that's because I need some stuff before I put the cattle panel trellis in, plus I want Steve's help when I do it. I really want to get these seeds in the ground because we're supposed to be getting a pretty serious storm later. I like to sow seeds before that. So I'm really happy with where we're gonna be trying green beans this year. I'm probably gonna be putting them in a couple different places. I really like the idea of having the cattle panel over the walkway to the greenhouse. I think that's pretty neat. We are predicted to get a pretty nasty storm here today. It got up to like 75 degrees. Can we talk about that? It was amazingly gorgeous out today. So nice. There's a breeze. It's just so beautiful. A productive day. I feel like I'm forgetting to talk about something. I'll remember some other day maybe. That'll do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. It makes my day. And I will see you next time. Bye.